Byrd. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. I don't like to talk about stuff without backing things up. You know how that works for me. Stop doing that, please. I gotta clean your mess up when you do that. This right here is a crease and desist letter that was sent to Jaime Fernando. And still Jaime Fernando Gonzalez. Still the same thing. His last name is Gonzalez. His middle name is Fernando, but still same person. And he was sent a crease and desist letter for infringements for Crystal Edge Technology screens. That's the file number by the attorney. I don't know if you can see all that from there. Let me put my stand in a different way. So when I tell you we have these documents, this was sent to him by our lawyer on July the 21st of Jaime Fernando, even though that's his middle name, still counts. This is his wrong address. That's not his real address. We have his real address. That's a fake address he was using. That right there is a letter that was sent to him telling him that if he continued on this path, that a lawsuit would get filed against him for basically tampering with our copyrights. There's a law group right there that we filed against. Now, what this helps us out with in court is that he needs our permission in order to be able to touch that copyright. See right there, that's a warning from an attorney telling him that if he touches that copyright, he's going to get sued. This is what we're submitting to the court. So just clearly shows that he was fully aware of his actions when we explained to him that if he touched that copyright, used his copyright in any form of matter, he would get sued. So he can't sit there and say at the end of the day, I was never warned, I was never told. This is why we submit these things to people at the end of the day. Because we know that, number one, it's a warning we give you to tell you to back down because you will get sued. So this gives the person the opportunity and the chance to be able to make the decision, she or he, to do the right thing. That's why we send them out. If you choose to ignore this and we go to court, your plea of this is my first time, I didn't know, that's all out the window. It's done. This closes your case completely. This is what's going to the court. So I had to find the document, we'll print it out, and then after that, we're going to forward this over to them for extra evidence to show that he was warned, because they did request if we sent out any kind of warnings to this individual, letting him know that he was tampering with their copyrights. And so yes, we had an attorney contact him. This was in July the 2nd of 2021. It's still fresh. Let me get a printout of this. I back up everything I say. If I tell you that I'm not one to get on camera and talk about something and not back it up. So this shows that by the attorneys that we hired, he was fully aware of his actions. There you go. This is why you don't take stuff like this. We send you out this stuff. We're not joking around with you. Crystal Edge Technology screens. Right there. Confirmed regarding unauthorization use of his copyrighted brand name on social media. When I go to court, I like to make sure that all my T's are crossed and all my I's are dotted. I do not like to lose in court, and I don't lose. I'm very thorough in how I do things. I like to make sure that I give you plenty enough room to hang yourself. I gave him more than enough opportunities. Look at the date on that. That's when that was issued. That means in between that timeline of that date, after we sent this order out, anything he did in between that timeline, we can get him on it. We can get him on stuff afterwards, but this actually holds more weight because he was told not to do this. That's like if somebody tells you, if you walk into that bank with a loaded gun, you are going to jail. And you were warned and you were told not to walk into that bank with a loaded gun or you're going to jail. Now you walk in there with that loaded gun and you basically pull out that weapon. You go to jail. You got nobody to blame but yourself because you were told not to go in there and rob the bank. Get people know the difference between right and wrong. There's no excuses for it. You can't go to court and you can't say, well, I didn't know it's this, that, and the other. I didn't know it was how do you not know it's copyrighted? The copyright is right here on top of the cube. So you can't say, well, you know, didn't know it had a copper underneath of it. Our copyright for our Crystal Ridge page is right there. There's the cube. And you can swing. I told the person who was basically on Wix to swing your mouse over top of it. And there's our copyright right there on our label. So how would you not know if that's not copywriting? So this is the attorney. This is that we fired to, and thank you so much. He did an amazing job. That's our file number right there. They can look up our file number and you can see what was filed in their number. And it was basically regarding an unauthorized use of our copyrighted brand name. We don't do fake documents. I don't do any of that nonsense at the end of the day. We back everything up. So when we go to court, one thing they're going to ask you is, did you get permission? We'll tell them no, we never gave you permission to touch it. And they're going to ask us, did we make it clear for this particular individual to know that there were copyrights underneath of it? Yep. They're on the website. You can go to the website. You can see the cube right there. The cube has our copyrighted register information. And we did send them out a infringement, cease and desist letter from an attorney requesting for Jaime Fernando Gonzalez. By the way, this is fake address. If you didn't get the document, that's not my fault. Because again, we sent it to you and you have a habit. We can show a history of fake addresses that you have. Stuff we ordered from you, fake addresses. Stuff coming off eBay, fake addresses. Stuff coming from your website, fake addresses. So it's not my problem. You don't put your real address in. So there you go right there. There's no one to blame for yourself. Well, that's basically about it. I got to go submit that to the court. I'm surprised we found that bad boy. Let's see, we got to print out. I need more printing paper too. Where's all my printing paper? I should have a stack of printing paper. I got to print out documents today. Give you fair information. Yeah, I want to talk about this real quick. Now, this is the last time I got to bring this up. And the reason why is because I like to back up what I say. If I say I have this document, no one can say I don't have it because there it is right there. I back everything up. Now, some of you will not be getting this letter. Oh, heck no. We already know from the door. We got enough evidence. We don't need it. This was just basically to try to give this individual a chance. We did try to give him a chance. Didn't want to sue him. Honestly, don't want to. Still don't want to sue him, to tell you the truth. And the reason why is because he has a family. But Jaime's a jerk at the end of the day. If he doesn't have enough respect for his own family, then, you know, we got to go forward with it. Doing that to my logo, you just went too far. So now we got even more evidence on you. We go to court and you show them, look, this is from my attorney right here. Went in, we sent them this document. We warned him. That's what it says. It's an infringement, cease and desist letter we sent to him. Warn him, don't do this. You will be sued for doing this if you do this. And he ignored it. He ignored the warning. And this can be used in court. They can even bring down contact the attorney, and the attorney will clearly say, yeah, we did send it over to him. And boy, it basically has a doc number attached to it, so that shouldn't be a problem. They just go to City Hall records Wherever this was filed, they go to the records and they basically bring up the doc number on it. And your daughter's from Pennsylvania. Are you from Pennsylvania? Yeah, I think they're from Pennsylvania or California. I'm not sure where they're from. Oh no, it's a Pennsylvania. It's a Pennsylvania attorney. Yeah, we might hire them again, basically for civil court. I think I will hire them again for civil court. They did a fantastic job for us. So when we take this to civil court for the other lawsuit, we're gonna hire him to also. You know, sooner than we're doing this, he does. Like I said, Jaime cannot learn. He does not learn. No sooner than he's doing this, he's over there on my Wix account trying to spam my account again. I don't know what's wrong with them. Like, there's something really not right with them. Over to spam the account. I had to send him a message like, look, man, you're digging a bigger hole for yourself. Wix is monitoring the accounts. They're monitoring his account right now because it's under investigation. So anything he's sending over, they're copying. I need to get a copy of, let me see, what did we send over on this end? We sent over some stuff on this end. Here we go. No, we sent it over to the other account. It's on the other account. Let's go to the other account. We got to dig something up real quick. I got to print out my orders from them. The complaints we filed. We need to have all those complaints on records that we have against Wix, because Wix has a bit of a hourglass over top their head also too. It's already noted in the court documents where the copyright infringements appeared from, which was Wix. So if Wix does not follow through on what they're supposed to do, we'll file a lawsuit against them too also. That's document 1, document 2. How do we cancel this form right here? Can I go into, yeah, I should be going to here and get it from here. There we go. There's the forms right there. All right. Yeah, these are the documents right here. All right. We don't want the whole page. We need this particular section right here. There should be a section in here that allows us to be able to get collapse. We don't want it collapse. We need to expand it. So we need to be able to expand what we have here. This is the documents we need to have over for the courts. Oh, they print the whole entire thing. Oh, yes, the whole transcript is in here. Oh, goody, this is even better. I didn't know the whole transcript was in here. We literally got the entire transcript in here from Wix on what we filed, which is good. This is good. This shows hardcore evidence that we did submit these documents to Wix, and they're fully aware of the consequences that are to come if they do not follow through on executing judgment on the site. That's perfect. This is what we needed. This is stuff my attorneys are requesting me to get from Wix. Any transcripts that we submitted to them on this particular situation, they wanted a copy of their policy on how they handle copyright infringements. They wanted their policy on slander. They wanted all transcripts, everything to be submitted to them, just in case if we had to take them to court, we can clearly show that we did let them know that this was actually happening. If they did nothing in return, we can sue them. All right, let me see. I'm just going to take this whole section right here because I don't know why it's not giving me that option to be nice. Get out of that. Be nice. Be nice. We don't need all that. We need what we asked for. You're doing too much. There we go. You're doing way too much. Okay, this is the bottom. This is the end right here, right? Or yeah, this is right here. Information about Wix. Okay, so we'll just take this whole section from here. All right, I gotta go in. I need to get this information here. How are they printing this? Oh, this is how it's being printed. Okay, good. That works for me. Let's print that out. need a new printer. And like I said, if you're running a business or a company, this is what you need to do. So one of the things that you're going to have to do for your business is protect it against individuals who do not know how to carry themselves right. You got to take these jokers to court. This is long overdue, but as I said before, I tried to turn the other cheek, and I tried to avoid this as much as possible, but this nonsense is just going to keep continuing on and continue on. He does not learn, he doesn't listen, does not pay attention at all, period. That's what he wants to do. And unfortunately now we have to go to court over this, and it's going to be a very bad day for Mr. Jaime, extremely bad day. I gotta find my brick of paper. Literally, I'm gonna go through so much paper today on this, it's not even funny. Okay, here's the request forms. Let's see for the copyright infringement. I'm gonna need a brick of paper. I know I got more paper than this. Where's my paper at? I should be working on my sites and doing business instead of dealing with this nonsense. But it has to be done. Because I said before that people just don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. So it has to be done. Unfortunately, somebody's going to go through a lot of pain because of this, because they don't know how to act right. And the family's going to suffer a lot of pain because of it too. It's going to cause a huge amount of pain on their behalf for their family, because they did not know, their provider didn't know how to carry himself as an adult. My documents are in here, I'm not sure. Now, I can't wait till I'm situated out here, because once we have to get this mess cleaned up before we can move forward, because I can't have this individual or anybody like him, because we're going to use Jaime as an example on why you don't touch our company. This is why we're going all out on pressing everything against him that he's violated. And the reason why is because we want to make it crystal clear that to anybody, if your intentions are to slander my company in any way or try to damage my company's name, and again, you're doing this just maliciously, we want you to know there's going to be extremely heavy consequences for it. And that's one thing we presented a letter. We're presenting a letter to the judge to explain to them on how our company was targeted and why it was treated this way. And we need to have the judge put down the maximum amount that they can put on this particular individual, because we can't have people treating us like this. So it needs to be done. Because this guy does some really, really, really dirty stuff. Jaime does extremely dirty stuff. All that mail came from him, as we found out today when they're doing the traces on the IP addresses. It's all his mail. It's nobody else but him. The text message, on the other hand, is somebody else. They're putting a trace on it. That's a hate crime. But Jamie's being blamed for it because, again, from his actions, this is what came from it. This is the cause and effect. This is what he's going to be also labeled as for this hate crime. This is going to carry some, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a year or two in jail. I would not be surprised. But this has to be done. He's going to be the example. We're going to press on him heavy. Everything we got, we're coming at him with. I don't care how many times we got to bring him to court and sue him. We're coming down on him heavy because we need to use Jamie as an example so people can understand at the end of the day, don't mess with my company. If your intentions are to go in and do fake reviews against their products or whatever, now you know what the consequences are going to be. And I explained this to people. I said it several times on camera. I'm a different person when I go to court. I'm not a Christian when I walk in that courtroom. I'm a different person. When I go in that courtroom, my sole purpose is to take everything from you, to leave you homeless. I don't care. That's my purpose when I go into court. I don't listen to bargaining. I don't listen to plea deals. I don't listen to any of that. I give people plenty enough time to change their ways before we go down this road. So we gave you enough time. Like right now, Silent Wake 5 got caught with fake reviews on our products. Did he stop? No, he's still in there doing the same dumb nonsense. I know, I got people monitoring his account, recording everything he's doing. We're building a case on him. Did he stop when he got caught? No, he turned around and did something else stupid. So it just shows that in the day, even though we busted and caught this person, we got recordings of all everything he's doing, got people popping into their forum sites and everything, watching and recording, getting information and bringing it back to us so we can build these cases, so we can go in and show, look, after we far busted this guy, we didn't file right away. We gave him plenty enough time to basically do something different with his YouTube channel, and he continued on with the same nonsense. We gave you that opportunity. You just don't take it. Got things to do. I don't have time for this dumb nonsense. I really don't have time for it. We had that one little incident. We had a couple incidents. This is why we can't show contracts no more. The reason why we don't show contracts, and people say, oh, your contracts. We don't show contracts is because Jamie did something stupid. Literally got happy about a contract that I received over in New Jersey for a fellow who came across the bridge, came to the house. I met him. He went downstairs in the shop. He checked out the inflatable chemical for the screen. He liked it. Went up in the back, did a couple of demonstrations on it, liked what he saw, and that was the end of it. He went home. We're getting ready to sign a contract. I went down to Lowe's to buy some patio furniture. I get a phone call from him. He says, do you know a fellow by the name of Jamie? I said, Jamie, by any chance, Crow 1176? He said, yes, that's the email. He contacted us and told us not for us not to do business, that you're a scammer and that you're a thief, and to do business with him. Yeah, that dumb nonsense. That's why we don't show contracts. Because of that dumb nonsense. And the guy found it really disrespectful because he just came from my house. That's why we don't show contracts. So when they're sitting there ranting, like, where's your contract? We have contracts. We don't show them. And you shouldn't show them anyway. But I did. I showed the contract just to show we got one. And that's what happened because of showing the contract. So, all the nonsense that you have caused, your day of reckoning has come. And in the new year, I plan to run my business without any headache. And if anyone else feels that they want to do the same thing Jamie does, you will see the outcome of it all. When you watch this person on his YouTube channel, well, actually, you can't even talk about it. We can put a gag on him. We can't speak or say anything about it. If he even mentions anything about the court case, we can basically bring him back in. Oh, yeah, I had one of those put on me with Diamond. Diamond did that to me. I learned some stuff from them on how to do stuff. You can't say anything for a certain amount of time within that limitation time. You can't speak about it, can't talk about nothing, not a thing. He can, after that, pretty much, you had to be the same thing. He can't say her name, can't speak her name, nothing at all, period. But then again, by the time we get done with him, yeah, he's going to be sitting in there in an empty apartment. You know it's money. You got to pay it. That's what y'all understand. You got to pay that money. Get those judgments on. You got to pay them up. And if you're talking about taking me to court for being a scammer, hey, knock yourself out. I got tests on my products. I can back anything up I do. As a matter of fact, I could do those demonstrations right in the courtroom. I got no problem with that. It's publicity for my company. Why wouldn't I take an opportunity? Heck yeah. So not a problem at all. I just had to find that cease and desist order, which we did find. We found it. It's on documents, and the date for it is on the 21st, which means of July 2021, which he had plenty enough time to go in and get that back down. We gave him plenty of time. All right, this is enough paper. I had to go in there and find out where the frick is all my paper at. Oh, you know, I told you it's gonna come for y'all jokers. I need this right here. I need a document right there. Alright, that's one of the documents. Let's put half of this paper in. We don't need all of this in. I need this for the file for the courts. Let's put the courts right there. Excuse me. Alright, perfect. Let's go get copies of all of this. That's the first one. Oh, come on, don't do this to me now. I need you. Monitor on that side has a habit of cutting off on itself. All right, these are the documents from Wix showing the incident was basically filed. These are the copyright infringements for the cease and desist orders that Jaime Fernando Gonzalez was fully aware of his actions when we sent out those documents to him, letting him know that he would be prosecuted if he continued on that path. Now this one wants to go off. Come on, stay on there. Let's see. This is one of them. That's the first one. This is the second one. Now see, this one has a forward on it. How come the other one didn't have a forward on it? It doesn't make any sense. Just another book. See the message right there. To you. Alright. Let's see. This one right here. See the name of. Alright. Can we, what's the print on this one? Oh, this is the document for the. Alright, this is how it's done. Okay, that's it. So this is for the copyrights. Alright, this is for the copyright abuse. These are for copyrights. This is what we sent over to Wix. So Wix has all this on record about the copyrights. So it's all noted that we did contact Wix about the situation on the copyrights. I need a print of this one because I want all this, because you'd be surprised. You have to take somebody to court and they'll sit there and go, oh, they never contacted us, they never told us a thing that this was going on. Yeah, we did contact, we did tell you this was going on. Now I have to contact the CCB where we filed. Where's my documents for that too? We have to contact the CCB, and we need to know where we can go in and file we have to go in and file additional evidence for the case. So we definitely need to go in and get that. Put this one right here. That's the other one. What is this one right here? Okay, we'll cancel this one. That one's done. All right, let's get this one below. This one was for another copyright. What's the number on this one? Make sure we're not doing anything duplicates. Let me see. Okay, that's 73. That's 23. All right, two different documents. That's another one right there. Let's get this one printed out. this is the other one. All right, let me see. That's for copyrights. Complaint. Which other one? This is the other one here. This is for customer care support. Hi, Mr. Byrd. This is okay. Okay. This is a complete transcript. That's a transcript. We need this one. This is for the copyrights. Respond to requests for which team, so and so. So yeah, this is a transcript. This is perfect. This is needed for court. And this is additional information. We have to call down there. This is a special department we have to submit this to, because we want to make sure we have no room for nothing in there. If they request that we contact the platform, yes, we did contact them. These are documents showing that we did contact the platform. So Wix is basically put on alert that they are basically have been implicated into this particular process, and all documents have been submitted. So if we have to take them to court, it already shows right there from the door that we did contact them. We did basically explain the situation. They know about the situation, and the next step would be to file suit. I don't play, like I said, I do my homework. I don't play around. Never get in your head that you're using a dummy account, that you can't be traced. We can find you. Dummy account away all day. See if we don't track you down. I love that when people say, "Oh, but this is a dummy phone." You're an idiot. You had to set it up somewhere, didn't you? You can't go in and set up a dummy account through freaking through any cell phone provider, whatever. You have to provide Social Security number. You have to provide proof that you actually exist before they can set your account up. Go through all kinds of security checkpoints now just for putting stuff into the digital world. So yeah, everybody leaves as a trace somewhere. Where is we need the other one at? We've got government officials, and these guys can pretty much try to hide anything if their emails can be tracked, traced, and everything else. And there's a database that keeps all that information. That even if you delete it, there's a database that keeps all that information. And they think they can burn and hide stuff. They still get prosecuted at the end of the day. You ain't really hiding anything at the end of the day. The only way you can really hide something is you burn it. But if you went into a system and you basically went into a database and you typed in information in order to acquire an account and then tried to fake, no, forget it. Just forget it. Just forget it. It's going to look even worse because it just shows that you try to hide evidence. This is the one for Wix for slandered. This is for the other one. Let's get this one printed up. I like to show what I'm talking about because, again, I don't like to be on camera just talking for the sake of talking. There it is right there. That's the complaint file for slander. That's the one where we had the Black Series logo. The name of this Black Series was actually slander. That's where the Wix user actually logged into the site and saw it for himself. So he already submitted his own report over to Wix on what he saw and what he witnessed as a Wix representative for Wix. This is his report right here. Let me go to this one, print it up. Where's the document on it? I was in the copyright section. Got to break open the office. All right, this is the other one for slander. I need another one for, how many did we submit over to them? This is one right here. This That's another one. Let me grab another one. We got 3 more of these to go through. Let's cancel this one. This is done. This is the last one. So we submitted 6 sets of documents. The first 3 are basically the initial complaints. The other 3 are basically filed through that department that handles that particular form of complaint. They have a special department for copyrights and slander policy on their website, so it shows that we did go through the proper channels. That's one thing I tell people at the end of the day. Not only just submit the complaint, go into the website and see if there's a section that they have a special department for that particular problem that you're having, and submit it to that particular area too. Just don't be satisfied with just submitting it to them, because they can easily walk on the court and say, well, you know, he didn't go through the proper channels of submitting that document. He submitted that document through us, and we really don't handle it on that level, even though we did, and they probably didn't, transfer it to that department. Make sure you go into that department and you file that form, and then you have a confirmation number showing, yeah, I did go to that department and file it. So there's no way in the world you can get around it. I told you, I've been to court enough times. I've seen people do some of the most jacked up things you can possibly think of, and that is one of them they will do to you. So make sure, don't be happy with just submitting it to that. Now, keep in mind, for you naysayers out there who feel the need that you're going to go into this site and submit what, no, it doesn't work that way. Wake up. Know what reality is all about before you start opening your mouth and before you start submitting documents, because this right here can turn into a counter lawsuit against you quick. You have to have enough evidence in that document. They're going to ask you for these particular things, and you're going to have them. If you don't, then the document won't go through. It won't come up successful. You're going to have all that. Someone sent me some dumb nonsense by saying, oh, I reported you to the Better Business Bureau. I know the Better Business Bureau, you egghead. I filled out an application in there basically to get the BBB. In order for me to do that, I had to provide pertinent pieces of information in order for them to show that my company was a legit company, as in licenses, as in registers for LLCs, all that stuff, EIN numbers, tax papers, all that stuff to show that I was legit. All right. So I know that already. And what the Better Business does is they go in. They don't just go on one report. They have to go on multiple reports. And in those multiple reports, it must show a history of this person repeatedly stealing from people or having multiple complaints. I've been in this business for over 10 years. My account is clean. I can pull up my PayPal records. And in my PayPal records, it shows very, very little returns, very little complaints on my account. On top of that, the tons of batch numbers I do, the tons of testing I do on my products, where these jokers go into court, you don't have any testing. You couldn't even tell the difference between your product and house paint at the end of the day. You got no way to back it up. If any customer decided to take you to court and say, look, I purchased from these guys and I believe I have regular house paint that I paid for, how in the world would you prove that not to be in court? How? If someone took Parte to court and they said, hey, look, I bought this product, he claimed to have some kind of stacking system and that I tested it, it didn't work. How would you prove that in court that your product actually works as this stacking system that you claim it to be? You can't. You can't basically show it on your website. There's no test results of showing you on the website this actually works. How are you going to prove this in court? All right, there you go. And the other fellow, how in the world are you going to sit there and prove in court that your product is not house paint? You couldn't even do it in a simple live stream YouTube video without getting caught and trying to hide the evidence. So how would you be able to fight a court case if you had to go to court? You can't. Because the first thing they're going to ask is this product tested? Can you show us any kind of test results proving that your product does not match everyday house paint? If you can't, if I ask you that question and you go into a fit and carry on, what makes you think you're going to answer that in a court? If a company or somebody else decides to take you to court and say, look, this guy scammed me, he sold me house paint. And they're going to ask you, do you have any evidence backing that this is not true on the claims that are placed against you in this courtroom? What are you going to say? Can't even back it up on YouTube. How the freak going to back it up in court? Now me? Oh man, I would have a ball with that because I've done this demonstration too many times to count. There you go, Your Honor. These are test demonstrations on our website. These are live demonstrations. If you want, I can do this in court right in front of everybody. That's publicity for Mr. Byrd. A lot of good publicity. That means that man walked into a courtroom, painted black paint into a screen, displayed it on a projector, and was able to show that his product could produce a higher white level than everyday black paint. And not only did he do that, he did multiple tests. The same fun that I have when I'm on camera acting up and acting crazy, yeah, I'll do that in a courtroom in a hot second. Please. You guys can't do that. That's why your products don't work. So yeah, take me to court. I'll have a ball in there. You'd have wished I never walked in and not turned around and said, what do you want to do next, Mr. Byrd? I want to file a counter lawsuit. And I will bring your product in court, and then I will ask them the same questions and put you in the same situation you try to put me in. And I guarantee you will fail miserably in the process. So, file a lawsuit against me. Knock yourself out. I'm looking forward to it. I could use more publicity. You want a label say my product is a scam, you want to sue me? Go ahead, file it. Knock yourself out. Go ahead. I can't wait. I'll print this one next. Now I have a field day in there. I feel like the 8th grade dude, like, did you feel it? Did you feel it? Yes! I will crush you in court. Don't play around with me like that. My products are tested. I'm good to go. Anytime. Anytime. File your lawsuit. Knock yourself out. But you wouldn't mind me doing vice versa to y'all, would y'all? Oh, no, you don't want to do that. If you can't basically back your products up on YouTube and basic social media, what makes you think you're going to file a lawsuit against me saying my product is a scam? Please do. File away. Knock yourself out. Can't wait. You can give me a court date. Let me know. All right, this is the last one we got to do. And they're going, yes, yes. Please, go ahead. Y'all talk so much trash. All that nonsense. I was living in that house for 4 years. I ain't afraid to put my address in. I put my address in 19 times with one of them, and I think 7 times with the other one when I place orders. But every time we place orders for you guys, fake address, fake address. Fake address. I got a whole bunch of fake addresses. Can't even put their address in correctly. No phone numbers attached to their website, nothing at all, period. Ain't want nobody calling them directly. That's what it is. Post your phone number up there. Bunch of cowards hiding behind fake Google numbers, fake accounts. If I'm going to contact you, you're going to see my email pop up. You will know it's me when I come to see you. I don't hide behind fake emails. I don't hide behind fake Google numbers and all that nonsense. Mr. Byrd wants to basically contact you. You will know it's me when I come to contact you. You will see my email address. You will see my name. And you will see my place of where I live or my business. I will let myself be known when I come to see you. I don't do that at the end of the day. I'm a man. That's why when you posted that nonsense, I put my address in over 19 times for that item. And you basically got scared and gave me back my money. But every time we order from you guys, fake addresses, fake phone numbers, fake everything. Bunch of cowards at the end of the day. I was at the house for 4 years walking around, and not one of you came down to see me. Not one of you. Cowards at the end of the day. But you're afraid to put your address in. That's why you cancel order. One gives us fake address, the other one cancels the order because he don't want to put his address in. Yeah, post your address. I'll come see you. Talk a bunch of nonsense. Bunch of cowards. 4 years in that house. You know where I lived at. I mean, you posted on the internet. Never came down to see me. Talk all that trash. If I make a statement like that, I guarantee you I'll follow through. I'll pop up. I'm a businessman. I don't do things that way. I'm professional. If I got a problem with you, I see you in court. That's how we do things. I don't do that nonsense. I'm not a child at the end of the day. I was here for 4 years. Y'all made all those death threats and carried on and acted up. Where were you? How come you didn't show up at my house? Nowhere to be found, talking all this trash on camera. Oh, I'll be right there. I'll be right there. Oh, please, come on down. I'm right here. Where you at? I ain't hide on my property. I walk back and forth my property anytime I wanted to. Back and forth doing my demonstrations. Anytime you could have pulled up. Where were you? Nowhere to be found, as always. And anytime y'all call my phone, my real phone number that I post, my real business number that I post, You got fake Google numbers, hiding behind Google numbers at the end of the day because you're afraid to be a man at the end of the day. If I come for you, you will know who I am. You will see my address. My information will pop up. I will address myself as I always do. And when I came in to place that order, I didn't put no fake address in there. I put my address in over 17 times, sorry, over 19 times with Crow and over 6 times with Fernando, not Fernando, Partey. And each time, both of y'all gave me back my money. Every dime of it back to my account. And then want to cry on camera about, oh, we don't do business with scammers. And this. Oh, please, enough with the Karen calls. Enough with it. You're cowards at the end of the day. You're not even men. I think the reason why he sent me over that whole email nonsense by the time I order all you want, because he thought I'd be afraid to put my address in. No, I'm good. I ain't saying I'm the baddest person on the face of the planet. No, I'm not the baddest person on the face of the planet. But I'll tell you one thing, if you cross my path, only one person's going to lay down, it won't be me. I guarantee you that much. I'm not going to sit there and, no, we don't got time for that. I'm not that type of person at the end of the day, and I never will be that type of person at the end of the day. I'm not the biggest, baddest person on the face of the planet. No, I am not, by far. But I will defend myself at all costs. And if it means if you walk up near my property, I'm going to put a bullet in you. I said right there on camera. I will shoot you dead right there on the spot with no remorse. You have no right on my property. You shouldn't be there to begin with. If you send over death threats that you're going to do this, I'm licensed to carry. I'll just put a bullet in you. Anything I shoot below the waist ain't really a crime. I know the rights, I know the rules. So, no one popped up. Only people that came over were customers. That was it. Had a couple customers came through, real cool, real nice. Actually became good friends with a couple. I forgot to call one couple for Happy New Year's, which I didn't even do that. Came over to the house, chatted, watched a little TV and stuff like that. Had a good time with them, and that's basically about it. Came over very respectful. But you little haters out there that want to talk all this trash at the end of the day, you knew where I was at. Where were you? That's why anything you say now, yeah, whatever. Bunch of nonsense. Bunch of little boys hiding behind the computer writing dumb nonsense. We don't, at the end of the day, if I tell you that we're going to go to court, I'm not playing around. I'll take you to court. Just like some of y'all, I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt. I tried to give you the opportunity to turn around and do something else. All that negative nonsense, you could have been doing something positive with it instead of sitting there writing 187 emails and 100, almost over. They counted like over almost about 100, almost about 100. All in all, they counted on the account that was coming toward us from that particular individual on our Wix business account. That's pretty sad. My goodness, we got all the I think all documents are printed on this side. I want to get that court document done too. Yeah, plenty of time, and y'all do nothing with it. Not a thing. And they're probably crying and whining about that too, like, oh my God, he's threatening on camera. No, I ain't threatening on camera. Told you what it is from the door. If you make a death threat toward me or anything, and you're going to tell me you're going to come down to my place of business or where I live at, I'm licensed to carry. I'm going to do like any other person's going to do at the end of the day. I'm going to put a bullet in you. That's what's going to happen. And I know my surroundings. And like somebody's going to pop up on me, I don't know my surroundings. I know my surroundings. I know who knows where and what. So that's why I advise when anytime a customer came to the house, they called before they came to my house. They let themselves be known. Hey, Mr. Byrd, so-and-so and so. This is me, so-and-so and so. I'll be driving up and so-and-so and describe the vehicle to a T. So when they came out, I didn't have to carry firearm. I knew exactly who they were. Talked to me before they came down. They came into the house, very respectful, very nice. Got a chance to talk to them, got a chance to know them a little bit more. Found out we had some things in common. Showed them around the house, all the stuff I'm working on, stuff like that. Yeah, real cool. That was nice. That's one thing I do miss. I miss being able to interact with my customers that way. That was fun. But if you think coming to my house and knocking on my door is supposed to, it was going to intimidate me. No. Had to come up out of those bushes with a ghillie. You never saw me coming. No. I know my surroundings. Don't. At the end of the day, don't push those buttons. Leave be. I'm not saying I'm the biggest, baddest, because I'm not the biggest, baddest person. I'm an everyday Joe like everybody else. But I will defend myself. I'm not going to think twice about your life. If it comes down to that point where someone's going to pop up and carry on, I'm going to put you down. It wouldn't be the first and it wouldn't be the last. I just try to run my company, run my business as peaceful as possible, do my job as I'm told to do, and that's what I do. And then people can sit there, oh, you're not a Christian. Guess what? Christians are militaries, and militaries do kills. And I got plenty of family that are military, and they are Christians at the end of the day. There are people in the Bible that basically were servants of God, and they also, too, have blood on their hands. Christians can carry firearms. I love when people do that all the time. But they're not supposed to carry firearms. You can carry firearms. Anyone can. Carrying a gun does not make or break you being a Christian. People say that you're freaking idiots. I love when people say guns kill people. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. People kill people with guns. That's what it is. You have a weapon in front of your hand. You have a decision on how you use it. You have a responsibility on how you carry this weapon. If you make the decision, there's plenty of people walking around with firearms on. They don't make the decision to walk into a bank and rob a bank because they know that's wrong. You don't do stuff like that at the end of the day. Some people know the difference between the two, and there's some people who just don't know it. They look at it as an ATM card, and it's not an ATM card. Not to be used that way. All right, let me see. All right, we're done there. Yeah, it gets me when I think about it because I was there for 4 years. I really don't think about how long you've been there until you actually look at the paper like, shoot, I was there for 4 years. And the time I was there working, I received all kinds of death threats when I was there. All kinds of death threats. Jaime posted my address, telling people to come down to the house and all that stuff. And people sending messages, I'm going to be down there tomorrow. I'm going to be down there today, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there like, I'm not worried about it. Come down. License to carry. Like I said, I got security cameras run all through my house, all outside. I see everything that comes through that whole neighborhood. Pop over. See what happens to you. Sitting up there in my driveway bleeding out, trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Yeah, I'm sitting there calling 911. You'll be sitting there laying on the ground looking up with that cold cement on the back of your head, and you'll be sitting there looking at the paramedics stand over top of you. I'm not going in handcuffs. I'm good. Show my permit. I'm licensed to carry. This is my driveway. Crossed over my driveway. Security cameras picked everything up. Yep. Sitting there filing a police report. That's basically it. You'll be sitting out there in a wagon being drone off to the hospital. And you won't die because I'm not going to shoot you in your chest. I'm not going to shoot you in the head because that's downright stupid. I'm going to shoot you in your thigh, your leg, or somewhere in that area where I can take you down. If I shoot somebody, my intentions aren't trying to kill the person. I'm just trying to put the person down so that way I don't have to worry about it. The minimum is less damage as possible. It's a chance to shoot you in your leg. Person gets shot in the leg. They're not thinking about anything else, but they got shot in the leg. That's pretty much it. All that attention goes to where they got shot at. So that's pretty much the end of it. I would never shoot anybody in the chest or never in the head because, again, that's a potential kill area. And shoot them below the waist. So in the thigh area, yeah, shoot them in the leg, something like that. And that way, they're not thinking about anything else. They're just thinking about the bullet hole they got in their leg. That's pretty much it. Probably most likely try to crawl out of the situation. Most people do. But that's not the intention. The intention is to put the person down, call 911, explain to them everything that happened. Security cameras picked up the whole entire thing, and show them the transcripts or whatever. We had conversations. This person threatened my life. I've been receiving death threats, and I'm licensed to carry my firearm. That's it. Okay, here we go. And for those Karens out there, and you know who you are, they want to sit there and cry, oh, he's going to threaten to kill customers. No, I never said about threatening to kill customers. I had customers come to the house. I'm talking about people who don't know how to act like they're adults at the end of the day. Anybody on this planet will tell you right now, if they're receiving death threats and all that nonsense, somebody talking about shooting and killing them or killing their family, is going to basically protect their family. And if somebody walks up on their property, hopefully they are able to pull the trigger. The person who does that kind of stuff, you should have common sense as a human being, or some kind of common sense to know that you know the difference between right and wrong. So why do you do dumb stuff like that to begin with? And you should know the consequences of what's going to happen. There was a YouTuber who had a situation, but he didn't have a license to carry. That's why I'm licensed to carry for that particular reason. But there was a YouTuber who was licensed to carry. But someone was sitting there saying to me, "So well, wait a minute, you said you got?" Yeah, I went through the prison system. But I went through the prison system when I was a juvie. I didn't go through as an adult. I was a juvenile. My record got sponged. I don't even have a record anymore. Yeah, I was a juvenile when it happened. I accepted it, sent it multiple times. They don't listen. There's something wrong with their brains. They don't listen. I was a juvenile. I was an adult when I went through the system. So being a juvie going through the system is different. So basically, yeah, I have an outstanding record. I can basically, I don't have any felony records. I can go get a firearm, and that's what I did. I got licensed to carry. But anyway, yeah, there was a YouTuber that got in some trouble. I'm not gonna mention the guy's name because it's none of my business to begin with. But he received death threats multiple times, and this guy actually did carry out. This troll did come to his address, and this guy came out and he fired a shell off in the ground, up in the air. Can't do that. It's kind of hard to do. See, it's a difference when you have, there's a bit of a gray area in certain places. When you have a driveway, it's a little easier to shoot somebody than it is basically doing it on a sidewalk, or if you come out your door and you cross over your neighbor's grass and you fire it off. Because some of these houses, they have an area where basically if you walk out, you can easily just walk over to your neighbor's yard, which means you're over in your neighbor's yard neighbor's front yard firing a gun. Or if you live in an area where you basically step out the door and bam, you're right on the city street. That's also a problem if you fire off a firearm, because anybody should know at the end of the day, you put other people in danger when you do that. That's why when people go into my driveway, they can go deep enough in where basically no one's in danger at the end of the day. But long story short, he didn't have a license to carry. You have to have a license to carry. And even though he felt threatened, he came outside, he fired off a round, he should have had a license to carry that firearm, because that's all they're going to see. Do you have a permit for this? And if you don't, you're going in handcuffs. And that's pretty much it. What did we get from here? We got everything here. This is all done. And this is all done right there. And that's all done right there. And that's all finished. And we got everything. I need to print out. Did we print out the court order? Where's the court order at? I need to print that out. There's something else right there. Submission. Is this a court order? Yeah, this is a court order. All right, I'm gonna print the court order out. I need a copy of this. All right, it's a docket number and court order. Byrd versus Gonzalez. Oh, I can't wait for this. I got things to do, people. I need to get this thing wrapped up and done. I got things to do. Because again, this needs to be wrapped up. He's a headache. He's definitely a headache. Because I can't even show off people we're doing business with, companies, because this guy would sit there and contact these people and spam them. This is how petty this guy is. Just spam and harass people. That's what he does. So we'll settle it once and for all. Document, and where's my document from the cease and desist order? So let me see. There's a lawyer that contacted Mr. Jaime, explaining he was representing us. Right there, there's no documents right there. And this is the order we filed against Jaime. There's a law group right there. That's the date. There we go. Jaime Fernando, but even though the name is Gonzalez is the last name, the middle name, it still counts. That's the fake address right there. So if you didn't get this document, guess what? Not my problem at all, period. If you want, I can email it over to you. Matter of fact, they did email it to him. Yeah, because we had your email address. You did get the email of it. They did email you the document, so you did get it. See right there? See? Right there. For copyrights. Explain to you crystal clear. Let you know that you need my permission to touch my copyrights. I'm registered with the United States Copyright Office. So all that information's right in there. Give him information. We let him know up front. We told him he's full aware. The copyright also sits right there on our page for all to see with all the information. And you can go to gov.com, Copyright Office, and put in my company's name, and it'll pop up showing that it is registered, because that's what they did. They checked all that out, and we can prove and show when we go to court that we did contact him and let him know this is going to happen. And he, between the timeline of July the 2nd of 2021, he had all that time in there to mind his own freaking business, and he chose not to. And we have enough documents already showing that we did report this to Wix multiple times through all the right sources. We got all their confirmation numbers, just in case if Wix decides that they want to drag their feet on this, then we would just file a lawsuit against them next. And as I said before, I always think of everything ahead of time. For those of you thinking, well, what about your website? I have accounts already set up at GoDaddy.com, and I'm already ready to go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be building one of the websites down there under Ad Tech will be built over GoDaddy. And I own my domain name, so I can leave anytime I want to. But we're giving them the opportunity. I really actually honestly don't have to give them the opportunity. I can just sue them right off the bat. But I believe in giving them the opportunity, because I don't want to go into court and have to take them to court and they'll say, well, Mr. Byrd didn't give us an opportunity. He just basically gives us information. We had no time to act. We had no time to file, and this, that, and the other. We could have, if you gave us more time, we could have taken it. Well, I've heard that one before too. So we give them enough time. We'd go within their guidelines of what they have for how long it takes for them to execute judgment on terminating a website. How long does that process take? Now, if we don't have it there on the site, then we go in and we request it from the legal department to give it to us in writing. How long does it take for you to remove a site? This is very important. It's also very important that if you are doing business with Wix, and you do have music up there that's copyrighted protected, you do have things up there that you have that are protected through the United States government, you need to know how long would it take for a site, if it comes along, copies your material, or tries to duplicate your site, to say that they are you. And you need to know, if you catch them, you're able to submit this information to Wix, how long is their processing time into removing this site. Doesn't damage us in the day. Our sales come in regardless. But for other people, this may damage them. This may cause problems for them, and they may have a problem where this may basically cut into their profits. And they need to know, what is the timeline for you to remove this? It should be automatically from the door once this information is submitted. But if they have this kind of guideline they have to go through, how long does that take? And keep in mind, if they have a guideline that says something like a month, this could get you sued, because again, the longer that site stays up, the more damage the other sites could take in because of this, and they are reliable for that. Yeah, you got to know all that stuff. So that's why when we went in and we explained to them, the first minute we told them that they will be sued for this, I started going in and getting their information from their website, their guidelines on slander, the guidelines on copyright infringements, and started submitting all this stuff to the attorneys. I went in and basically filed all the rules and regulations. I sent them 3 different documents on the 3 different cases that we had against the fellow for submitting to them. And then we submitted 3 other documents to a department for copyrights and slander. So we went through all the proper procedures to fill this out. So we got everything on record now. Now it's up to them to get the job done. We already was able to talk to somebody in legal to figure out what would be the timeline for them to remove the site. If they pass that timeline period, we file suit. We can go into court and clearly show that we did contact them. This is their information. This is on their policy. And they go and they try to change their policy at the last minute. We have a copy of that policy. And we can also show that, look, this is the timeline from A to B when the site's supposed to be taken down. Site is still there, has not been removed, nothing, no consequences, nothing. They've been followed by their own policy. And our material has been taken. This also makes the website look extremely bad. And it's the reason why, if we do go to court, it will probably never make it to court. It'll be settled out of court, because they do not want information to get out that they allowed another Wix user to rip off another Wix user. No one would touch your website if they knew that they couldn't take their copyrighted or protective material, post it on a website, in fear that some other Wix user is going to come along and rip off your stuff and slander your company in the process. No one will touch your website over that. So you will give companies like GoDaddy or other bigger companies, well, GoDaddy is a big company, that ammunition at the end of the day to go against another company by saying that, hey, look, don't go over the Wix, because at the end of the day, they allow people to rip off your copyrighted material. See? And that's why cases get settled at court. But we're not going out of, I would never take a settlement out of court. This has to be known. That's why. Well, with that information right there, I know it's a lot, but guess what? You got to learn all that stuff. Yeah. Woo. Good stretch. You gotta learn all that stuff. You gotta know all this stuff. That's why when we get people coming to the room thinking they know stuff at the end of the day and they're running their mouths like, ha, 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 you know nothing. You don't know anything. Crack a book. That's what you do. All right. Well, that's basically about it for me. We got everything copied here. We're done here. We got everything out. Found my documents here and there. We're good to go. Bum, 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 bum. I'm going back to work. I'm going to work on things I need to be doing at the end of the day, get things done, and we'll just leave this up for the courts. That's all that has to be done now. And we can talk about whatever, don't care. All I know is anything he does, we're not going to talk about it. Anything he does, we're just going to grip anything extra and we'll submit it to the court. I got to call down there anyway to the CCB and find a department where we can submit new information or new evidence to the court case, because we already got a doc number already that we can call on and about the doc number. Now, just so you know, Fernando is fully aware of what's going on. Everything was submitted to him. He did get the same email we got explaining that a copyright claim was placed against him. So we'll go from there. All right, people, back to work for me. Got to go, and God bless.